Okay, so I'm here with students from Trinity College, the Masters of Science in Smart and Sustainable Cities, joining the Global Walkability Correspondents Network, and we've just been meeting. And I want to go around really quick because you're all in Dublin, and I think it'd be really interesting to hear about what your own preferred ways of getting around the city is, even if it's not what you necessarily actually do. Say you prefer the tram, but it might not run to your neighborhood. So perhaps maybe what your dominant mode of mobility is, and then what your preferred might be if it's not your dominant mode. You could choose two also if you want to. So
most of the time I getting around city by walk, but sometimes I use Dublin bikes, which is share bikes with others, but it's definitely my most favorite transportation system. Transport mode is right rail system, which names RUAS, because Dublin City Bus or other Dublin City Bus, which is very most dominated transportation system, is always behind the time schedule and it's unreliable. It's on contrary of that, yeah, the RUAS is always on time, and yeah, and scenery, which I can see from the window, is very beautiful, and it's same level with pedestrians, so I can explore. I can find some new things which is very fun, very fun. Sorry, in the town. Thank you. That's it.
Yeah, I have to agree with you here. I love to ride in the Lewis because I love the scenery. When I sit and I'm going for a long distance, I love to sit and look out the window, and I love to see the scenic landscapes of Ireland. It's so beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
And but when I'm going to college, I have to take a bus because the only thing I like about the bus system is that there are constant buses every 2 minutes, every 3 minutes. There are buses that connects you through the city, you know, going to the center of the city where my college is. So I really like that that thing about Dublin buses. But the other thing that I don't like about them is that they're usually sometimes late, and because of the heavy traffic, you have to sit in the bus for a long time compared to a Lewis.
And Dublin is a very livable city and a walkable city. So when we walk around the city center, there are a lot of interesting stores or pubs, bars, and so yeah, which is they are very interesting and exciting for me. Yeah.
yeah, Orla, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess I might have a bit of a different perspective from the transport in Dublin because I'm living a little bit out from the city centre, only about 13 kilometres, which doesn't seem that far, but when you're getting transport, it's tricky. I'd usually get the buses or the trains into college every day, but you're looking at sometimes an hour and 45 minutes during rush hour to get 13 kilometers, which isn't great. So it's true that it's not always a very dependable service. There's a lot of external factors that make it late or means that buses or trains just don't show up, whether it's kind of weather conditions, strikes, whatever. But I would agree with the others that I think the Lewis is probably my favorite form of transport. That's the light tram that we have. So that was only introduced in, I think, maybe about 2007 or 2008. But it comes a lot more frequently. There's lanes that are you know, just for the Lewises in the city centre, which is great. It gets you from point A to point B a lot quicker. And it just seems a lot more efficient, really. But again, when you look at the time that this service was built, it was kind of during a time of great economic boom in Dublin. So I don't know whether we're going to be having that anytime soon. They were looking at extending that service out to the far side of like the north of the city, but it's looking now that it's going to take a lot of years before that's going to be a reality. So yeah, I think that's probably our best transport system at the moment anyway. I'd use the bikes, but I'm terrified of cycling in the city centre. So yeah.
And naturally, you all have some connection to walkability. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm here. I like to get around city by tram because I think something is easier way to the other places. But several days I went to Phoenix Park. I went there by tram, but by tram, I use it, and down the car, I need to walk for some minutes, so I can get there to the Phoenix Park. So I think that I usually get around city both both of the two ways, like walking or trams, and something here, places that can be there. Yeah.
So the tram is the popular choice.
Yeah, and it's more cheaper than taxi. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It also runs the latest as well. Like the trains and buses here usually finish at about 11:30 p.m, but the tram runs past midnight.
Okay.
So a lot of the issue with transport in the city centre is that there's a cutoff point, and it's really affected the nightlife here as well, that people can't really make their way home after a night out unless they're ordering taxis. Yeah, it's not like other European cities where we have 24-hour transport, but maybe that's something that we can have in the future.
Yeah, well, it sounds promising that the tram is running pretty late. That's a promising thing for the current situation. Okay, that was super interesting to hear, and I look forward to hearing a lot more. And yeah, welcome you all to the network.